Hello, beautiful piggers. Well, look at the dog here. Exactly. We are back to the system and everything is so fantastic. Yeah, we are just starting this kind of the video from wherever you're coming from. Thank you very much for you being tuned. And today we look at fragistically good and very fantastic as we just tangle to make sure that everything is getting to the brim point of today. Here we are to make sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one. And everyone has been locked. Thank you very much for being locked. And we are making things to have a change here. So the G Castle here right now, we have a change, and the change is coming as the change is going to be changing everything, how it's going to be coming. It has been a while when I just came out from the custody a little bit, and much of the people are having some postquams, some osmorons, talk about their own democockification and thinking about, oh, Gintu is this and that and that. But the real fact has to come out. Gintu is outside here and to make sure that the G Castle is moving on. Our project is the G Castle, not Gintu. My prototype is the G Castle, not the custody. That is the real fact. Much of the people have to understand it, because much of the people don't know that, oh, the G Castle is the best project that we're going to be getting forward. Also, we have the vulnerables at the best point that we're going to be making sure that we are just getting forward with them. And right now, everything is fixed onto the G Castle. Now the G Castle is looking so nice from this kind of the brim point. Look at the windows. They're already fixed everywhere. So right now, we have the security. Much of the people are talking about, oh, Gintu is this way, Gintu is that way, but we are making a change. The G Castle is having a change there. And look at the top of the G Castle. It has a change. Let me look for you guys because already we have developed much of the things onto the G Castle. It has been a long time before I could just come out and tell you that how the G Castle is moving, how are we moving with it, how are we making things to have a change here. Look at the metal rails already democratizing here. The metal rails are already placed here to make sure that we are moving. Even the dog cannot fear whenever we're going to be coming down. Look at the stretches marks here to make sure that even the practice makes perfect for the dogs here. And this is the way we want to get forward. This is the way we have to go forward. Even to have this kind of a metal rail, we are having a very delusive manner to talk about we are moving. Already we have fixed the windows. Already the windows are fixed. Look at it. Very strong enough, and these are the metal grills that are already placed here with a very fantastic method, which is very awesome, and the windows are very, very strong. There's now security gonna be prevailing onto the G Castle right now here. I'm gonna be checking on the doors because much of the people will be asking about, oh, Gintu, how are the doors here, how is everything getting on. Look at the doors here, they've already been fixed today, and it's very, very strong already. It's written G, then down it's the C, the G Castle door. Here we are and making it. Look at how it's just shining. Look at how it's last looking here. And this is the best moment we are ever looking for us to have this kind of the valid very fantastic and very good looking moment that we're ever looking for at the G Castle here. So everything is going on good. Much of the people are proposing stupidity, proposing demagogicity, proposing their own delucidity. We are just talking about those are just the postcoms and the osmorons of the day. As we just make sure that we are moving forward, there's no much of hesitation. The way is forward. The catastrophic we are just doing is to make sure that we are rendering much of the people talk about, oh, you just continue speaking your own stupidity. Right now, everything is moving. Look at even the Vietnamese who are coming from there. Very fantastic to make sure that everything is running califragistically good. Let me get in so as I can just check. The doors are opening very softly. There's not even talking about the hitch when I be talking. No, this kind of, you can hear. So it doesn't have any kind of a defect. Right now, the hinges are hinging. And so everything is working. Look at even when it's just opening. Look at this. It can just close and it can just stack. Then when you open, you can just open it and it will come softly. Talking about it has been welded with a very meticulous and a very fantastic movement. That's what we are looking for. Apart from other kind of some miscellaneous here, everything has to come to you live. My TV today gonna be not very clear because I'm using the phone, because you understand what has been by faulting to my own outcomes of the backyard there. You understand the custody has been a catheterojastic thing there. So as we just get to the entire building here, we're gonna be checking on what's really happening here, and everything is how are you, man? Everything is proper. Yeah. You are here, democratizing. Yeah. Making a change. Yeah. You are done with the duty? I'm Now washing some stuffs and tools here for you to keep chogarize. Rush home like safari rally. Keep working, man. Thank you. Guys, we have this kind of the door already. It's fixed here for the kitchen, for the emergency. Much of the people talk about Ogintu. How do you open it? Oh, we have a very long way here because we have some locks that are going to be placed there for us to have a very, very slight open. So I'm going to be going to the town to buy some padlocks. So today is padlocking. Everywhere should be padlocked, to make sure that there's nothing going to be hindering, there's nothing going to be hinging us, there's nothing going to be throwing us into pogrom, there's nothing going to be throwing us into the sarcasm of the day. So this is the movement that we're going to be getting forward, and everyone has been tuned. I have much of the responsibility to make sure that everybody is getting and to acknowledge and to know and to understand that the G Castle is the project. And when I talk about that one, some of the miscellaneous that much of the people are just talking about, oh, Gintu, you understand, they have been throwing me into a pogrom. Look at on top here. Already, methods have been placed to make sure that we are looking forward only to fill this kind of the spots. For it to be secure, anyone can just pass here, securitized, and it's just in a high zone. To make sure that if you want to lean on it, you can lean with no hesitation. When I'll go down there, I'll just show you another strategy we have done. And to the G Castle, how is it moving? Why is it moving forward? And guys, I'm now recalling where I was. When I was using the phone, I was at a Kenga position back there, and I was ever shooting the videos using the phone. But I think much of the wind is onto up here. So everything is good. You can just see, we have already placed this kind of the metals here. Look at these ones here. So they are placed here to make sure that the area is straight as forward. And we are moving very fantastic. And still we have this kind of the steels down here to make sure that they're democratizing to have the far end going forward. The G Castle right now, it's reflecting. You can see how the environment is clean, how the environment is good looking, and how are we surviving? Fantastic. Much of the people will be asking about Ogintu, how do you make it happen? How do you do this kind of the things to work? It's you to decide on who you are, what are you going to be doing, at what position, and how do you remove yourself to do it? Fantastic. And as I'm just talking about, we have ever been thrown to this kind of the postcoms. Much of the people have never understood what happened really to Gintu and what happened really to this kind of the things that were just coming out as far as everything was not in concern. I'm going to be talking about, thank you very much, everyone has been chatting and chit-chatting with me and also communicating. Today, I was having, it's called a plumbing quotation. Already the plumbing quotation costs around 90 US dollars, which is around 101,000 Kenya shillings that we're going to be democratizing here of the plumbing only, not even the set of everything, just plumbing, the piping of cold and warm water. Talking about everything has to come out the way we have systematically analyzed it. That is what we need. The aim is the project, the G Castle. That is why we want to get forward. And also when I got to the brim point, why are most of the people very jealousy of Gintu? It's because of the progress, the prosperity, the integrity, the hospitality, the valuation of yourself, which is making them to have that kind of the jealousy of postquamicity, the reluctantability of themselves and bringing it to Gintu that I'm the causative agent. Those are the stupidical and nonsensical and mystical things that we don't rather with. But when we want to get forward, we have to absolutely abscond other kind of the catastrophizing things that are going to be bringing us onto that imbroglio so they can just move forward. I understand much of the people are celebrating. Gintu has been arraigned in, talk about the custody. Gintu has been jailed. Gintu has been probabulated to be not here in Africa. Or talking about Gintu is not in the county of Migori right now. Gintu is in another county. I understand they have to talk, they have to analyze, they have to speak. It's their ways of expression. We have to understand we have rights of expression. We have rights to do whatever you want to do. But as far as everything is concerned, look at the heritage, inheritance, genotypic and phenotypic ratios of their own village. Much of the people are talking about Gintu to this kind of the village. Much of the people match with the codes of the phenotypic ratios, genotypic ratio. That's a fact. Because in the previous time, much of the people have appetite of cucumberization. That is the fact. So here into the village, you can find the Gintu here is with that one, and most of the students talk about the ladies are bathing at home. Are they called bathing? They are calling. They get pregnant at home and they deliver at home. Not bathing at home. Exactly. You can understand. But we have to get forward. Despite the challenges, we have to understand, yes, we might be having some, we can call about, we can have some of the alliteration points of talking about, we have maybe afar. We had to share the forefathers. But when we come to this kind of the session right now, there's nothing like brotherhood. Things is to respect each other and one love. But much of the people are talking about, Gintu now is arrested. We're going to be talking about, the GCAS are going to be stopping stupidity of the highest order. That is the osmorons of the day. But when we go back to the strategy, what is our strategy here? We are now going to get the quotation for the plumbing. Already the quotation is out and it has much of the things. We're going to be starting doing some of the shoppings for the plumbing. That is my strategy. And I always teach much of the YouTubers, much of the people who hate me, I'm always giving them much of the points to come out. Despite that, yes, there's a person who challenged me for me to go to the custody because of one Muzungu from Illinois. And talking about, Gintu, I trust on you, I just believe on you, I've seen how you are helping. And the most thing is what gives me that kind of the courage, even not to fear this kind of the Muzungu calling about, this and that, this, is a way that they are expressing themselves and telling Gintu that, Gintu, you know, I've been watching you, I see how you help people in the dump site, I know how you're just helping much of the vulnerable to the society. I've ever watched you, Gintu, giving out the greens to the vulnerables. I understand when you are just disbursing much of the things to the vulnerables. I really like whatever you're doing, helping much of the young YouTubers to grow in your G Castle. I trusted that lady because I thought about it. She's watching me. Maybe this kind of the people, they have a strategy. There's a person watching and reflecting. And I think about this is why they just challenged me, because that they had to be strategically. They have to absolutely know that how to play with my mind. And that is the only lady who has ever played with Gintu's mind. I am telling you that as a fact. Because when I go straight to the point, I talk about how did it play me? Because I had to trust her, then ask her some questions. And she had already arranged. This kind of the lady, she was so brave. And I like her mentor. And I like her perspective. Why am I saying so? How can a person challenge Gintu? If a person challenges Gintu, it means that you are so brave enough for you to challenge me. And this kind of the lady challenged me because she told me that when I asked about her, hey, can you show me the transaction you did to Kenya so they can just really know that you have sent money? She sent me the money that she sent, even the date. It was referring some 2 days back. I don't know if it was a hookup. I don't know if they ever knew that I'll ask the money that's transferred. And I asked about whom do you want to support? He wanted to support a person from Nyabowanse. I like that progression. That's why they only got at me. And that is the only thing that they will ever link and get it to Gintu, because that was the only point that I was talking about. They could just get unto me. And I had to ask much of the questions about it. And I had to hook her. I'm talking about I'm in Migori, but I'm in Sirari at the same time. But this kind of the lady, they had to track me. And this kind of the person, the number was given with the lady of Kenya. And talking about she's from Nairobi. I talked about, are you a YouTuber? Why do you want to buy it? And me sending the photos for you. She sent me the link for her own channel. And when I got in and I saw the DP on WhatsApp, it was reflecting. What could I do? Then I talked about, okay, she was speaking so smooth, meticulous. And when I go straight to the point and I analyze it, she's talking like the demon. Whenever I went to check on the demon, she came and talked about, do you think that you can categorize and antagonize my buttocks behind? I talk about, am I now a Didi? Very stupid. So the fact is turning 360. And when I had to call a video call, she was not responding. I was doubting that one. But I never ever dreamt that picking a call, but she was taking a call in WhatsApp. but not talk about the voice call, but not the video. I talked about maybe she's in a position where she cannot speak. I asked, why can't you call her? Why can't you pick the phone while you're in a video call? She talked about in a very confidential area. So I talked about, okay, I understand it. I don't have that kind of, oh, no, get out. No, I don't have such kind of things. I understand the regime. I understand the hospitality. I understand the ways it's always. So much of the people are asking about, oh, Gintu, why are you being harmed? Why are you being avian? This and then this. Much of the people are not even getting it properly. That Gintu is well. Gintu was not hit like the way they're talking about, beaten like a Cherokee drum. No. Gintu is very good. The only thing that they did is to make sure Gintu is kneeling down for 1 hour. So they can just rectify that, oh, now I can just kneel down, so they can just know, am I going to obey their law? Or am I going to obsess and not engage into their law? So I had to kneel down, and one of my knee was having a problem. So I had to kneel for 1 hour. So that is the only, talk about the biggest, how can I call it? Punishment they gave me. And also from there, I kneeled for 1 hour, and I was stored into a custody for 24 hours. That's the only thing I can just tell you. And much of the people are wondering, how is Gintu outside here? God is not wearing a short, always a trouser, to make sure that everything is fantastic. So what I can just tell you is everybody has his own God. Everybody knows your own progression area, your own coming out area, your own things, how they're going to be appearing. Whoever has a jealousy with Gintu, you have a long way to go. Whoever is talking about, you saw much of the people now that are coming, okay, much of the people helped Gintu, much of the people negotiated, talk about Fundi Duke, talk about my sister, much of them talk about, oh, Gintu, bring your sister onto the platform. She's going to be coming back in one of the days here. I'm just waiting for the point to reach. You understand, even Nasto sometimes, she waited until, at her time now, she vented in Vanessa, so she can just come out with a bigger YouTubing content creation and to this kind of the side. So the fact is always coming out. Everything is much more. Tomorrow is another day. My motto is always saying that one. So when I always say that, much of the people, they were just feeling bad when Gintu came out, because they were thinking about, oh, Gintu is going to be maybe abducted. He's going to not be found here. He's going to be, they're just stupidical, nonsensical, hashish, and unmetrical things that cannot even afford to be taken to the bank. And when you tell about even talk about sign here so they can just take it to the bank, no bank can take it. So the fact is sometimes absolutely be straightforward. Don't engage in stupidical and unmetrical things that cannot even bring a very catastrophic things onto their bodies or the effect of the time. So when I come out, guys, I'm so safe, I'm so good, I'm so charismatic good. I can move from one place to another because everything is sorted out. That is the real fact. But the only thing that is not sorted out is only one. Returning the GoPro and the stand. It has not yet back because I'm using the phone even right now here, and I like much of the people talk about I told much of the people that the best platform and the best way of us getting forward is this kind of the reactors. They've ever called Gintu Mkaro for the Mkaro, wherever you're coming from. Thank you very much. Mkaro sent me in the live 1,000 Kenya shillings. Who can do it? Let us leave it to the living God. Mkaro, salute. And everything gonna be coming. I know Mora can be taking this kind of the point here, talking about, oh, now Mkaro sent Gintu some a little bit of support here and there. We're gonna be waiting for it. Those are just post-quams and osquams of the day. Don't be bothered with small issues. So this kind of the things of the demagogues of political affair and talk about the YouTube affairs, demagogues like Mora there. Don't be bothered with such kind of the lunatic ladies who are just there for the sake of being there. You understand what I talk about. So the real fact is making sure that we are cherishing each other. You can just remember the time of strikes. We are ever strong and making sure that we are supporting each other to get forward. And right now, much of the people, you understand that even from this kind of the stupid people, talk about the blasted people. They're just always coming and talking about, oh, the fraternity I'm talking about. Oh, Gintu, I saw that kind of the pointer. This kind of the people are doing so bad. And do you know that much of the people right now, they hate it. They never ever acknowledge to have that kind of the time with them. And they're talking about those are kind of the people, they are so stupid ever enough. But the thing is, we have to get forward. Despite the challenges, despite the allegations, despite whatever. And whatever it's going to be coming out, we're going to be talking about, we have to get forward with it. And the real deal is, I saw much of the people talking about Gintu. I saw you talking about, oh, the hole is going to be coming out. Or which kind of the hole am I speaking to? There's a very big hole that I'm just digging beside here. And much of the people, I told them that, oh, Gintu going to be digging a very big hole here. And today we're going to be checking on it one-on-one. What am I talking about here? Wow. So guys, we have this kind of the hole already dug here, but we have much of, let us have this kind of the way. We have much of the stones located inside here, but we are trying to hit them and separate them so they can just know how to take them outside of the hole. But already the hole is so big, which is 20. You can check it here. It's 20 by 10 and a half. It's like 21 by 10 and a half, the sideway, to make sure that, no, it's 11 by 21. And that is the real fact. So this kind of the water that's going to be coming from this kind of the hole, it's going to be directed direct to this kind of the hole. It's going to be constructed with a very good strategy. Somebody can talk about, oh, Gintu, I want to buy you cement. Now we are going for the plumbing and this hole here. Because it's a rainy season, let's invest in water. Because I say that whenever we're going to be having a tower, it's going to be having a tower for the tanks. That is the real fact. And the tank and the tower, it's going to be having so many steels, and they're going to be having a quotation, and they're going to be coming out because already even the plumbing quotation is out. We're going to be making sure that everything going to be coming to you live one-on-one. And I like much of the people ever tuned and locked in and to Gintu, supporting Gintu and talking about, oh, Gintu, we have to get forward. That is the best moment we're ever talking about. And I respect everyone who has been locked and keeping in tuned, making sure that we are moving forward despite the challenges that are always covering. Everybody has a challenge. And when I go back to the strategy, much of the people, they are just talking about, oh, Gintu is this way, Gintu is that way. And they're talking about, oh, you know, guys, what I can just tell you is, I can tell you is that I got much of the support and Gintu came out of that kind of a place. It's not a better place, but what I can assure you is that for the people who have a problem, for the people who are over talking about, oh, you know, I cannot do such kind of a work there, or I cannot do that one, I cannot deal with this, I cannot do. My people, I'm telling you, if you ever talk about, oh, this kind of the life is very hard, you understand that the life I ever grew up, it was not just a simple life of talking about, oh, I have just grown up this way, I'm going this way. No. I grew up in a life that it was a very low life. So I understand every condition. I know this condition how, I know the other condition how it is, and I could refrain and I can do it. And at least I can just adapt to the environment. That's the best thing about Gintu. But some of the people talk about, oh, you know, I cannot survive in this kind of the environment. Whenever you go in custody, you will feel it. Because I went in a custody where it was looking like I am home. I'm telling you that that's why you see Gintu is not affected. Gintu can never be affected because if I can eat food from the street, from the dump site, and I can just cherish much of the people, I can go to the dump site and bring you the vibe from there. It means that Gintu is fearful. I have ever been interrogating, I've ever got this kind of the responsibility for Gintu to get forward. The last time before I went to the custody, I came and filmed my video here in my maize plantation, and I told you guys I don't use I always use this kind of the manure and to this kind of the facility. Talk about this kind of an area here, and I promised much of the people that are gonna be getting forward as a brim point, because the things are gonna be getting forward every time, everywhere. Look at the maize now. We are just looking very, very fantastic. And they're moving like something else. And I promised much of the people that wait for the moment to reach. And I don't buy much of the seeds. I don't do such kind of the things. But we have to get forward. Despite the challenges of making sure that sometimes the life is going to be getting some complications here and there. But we have to get forward. That is the best moment we're ever looking for and to this kind of the brim point. So when we go back to the point. Much of the people are asking about, oh, Gintu, can you tell us who was this kind of the lady who ever sold you to this kind of the lunatic, psychopathic people? And what I can tell you is that this kind of the thing is confidential by now. And when it will reach at the time, I'll just give you much of the feedback about that kind of the lady. And I've not yet met her. and she ever lied to me that it was a channel of, you understand how they always come out, but everything is so fantastic here. So keep it tuned. And what I can just assure you guys is I really respect much of the things that are coming out, and how we are just moving forward, how we are making much of the progresses here, how we are rendering our services and providing much of the things to the economy. You can just remember the time I was ever talking about, much of the people depend on Gintu. Much of the people, whenever I'm at the village, they like to see Gintu, and they know whenever I'm available, they get jobs. I'm creating much of the jobs for them. I'm always giving them much of the services. I'm ever promoting them from one step to another step, and that is the best from Gintu I can just do. Supporting the young YouTubers. Talk about, I cannot have that kind of the jealousy that, oh, this kind of the person is having a donation. I don't have that kind of the stupidity, because the day comes, tomorrow is another day. We have to move despite talking about, oh, this kind of the person is that way, the other person is those ways. What we need is getting forward. That is the best movement, the best way, the best ever moment for us to do. As far as everything is put in a place, and how you are always supporting Gintu. I see much of the people that are talking about, oh, Gintu, do you mean that there's people who just sent you money and they need it in a refund? No, there's no one has ever told me about there's a refund of money to anyone who ever supported Gintu, so they can just get out of the custody. And I can just say that it's kudos and pleasure. And wherever you just took those kind of the money from, and what you are ever doing for you to get those kind of the money, respect, and you're gonna be doubling. And I promise you, say amen. Amen. Thank you. So it's going to be doubling, and you're going to be making a history to change. And when we ever change the lives, and you can see Gintu is making things to change. Because I have promised that we're going to be having, it's called a senior party. Somebody said that it's going to be called the senior party, or it's going to be called after Easter vulnerable party. It's going to be coming, and it's going to be very, very lit. What am I saying about? Here is that we are having a very good party that's going to be coming out, and it's going to be so fantastic, characteristically good for the aged people and to the society. I want them to enjoy, because right now in the Easter, today is the Easter day. What is really performed? Right now, people don't have money. Economy is bad. Fluctuation of prices. What are we going to do? If Gintu is at that kind of the position, for me to help, for me to really talk about, I can just give them a supplement of a day, a meal of a day. I'll be doing something good. That is the real fact. I want to do it. And I want to be talking about whoever can feel that we surprise our old women and fathers who are unto the society. And we can do it. Much of the people having jealousy because Gintu is making it. When I came out of the custody, what came on as the next opportunity? I just created an awareness. I brought much of the ladies. I brought much of the female unto the society. Much of the people from the society to come and take the clothings. What am I meaning? And much of the sanitary needs. We are back. We're going to be making it. Much of the people are talking about Gintu. Right now, you don't bring us the vibe of, talk about the vulnerables, talk about the sanitary needs. What I can assure you is every time has its own time. Whoever thought about you're going to be taking me to the court, you're going to be taking me to the cell, you're going to be doing whatever you want to do. The fact is God is not sleeping. God understands that Gintu will go this way and you will do this way. And Gintu will just be that way and you will do that way. That is what we trust in the living God. And no one can ever change whether you have jealousy, because we have ever been suffering from the backyard to the top side right now. The G Castle is moving. Much of the people having jealousy. Why? It's because of the competition. Incompetent intellectuals. They have to be competent so as we can just have developed, talk about Nyaboase. And for us to develop Nyaboase, we have to leave the jealousy aside. Because Gintu is getting, tomorrow it will be you, tomorrow but one people are talking about, oh, money will be finished, oh, money will be, my friends. What I can just assure much of the people having jealousy to other people, not only Gintu, to other people that, oh, this kind of person is moving in a way that it's so decisive, it's so fantastic. What you have to do is, look at what and why is he doing it. If you cannot join the hands for you to fix and make sure that we are improving. You are just getting jealous because Gintu is making it and Gintu is doing this. Why can't you do it as you are? I'm talking about, oh, Gintu has ever done this, oh, Gintu has... Why can't you do it? Because you know more about Gintu. Why can't you do it? The fact has to be talked as a fact. So for you to progress and make a change in the living, a way of your own standards of living, you should make sure that do whatever you see other people are doing, which is correct. And if you want to come to Gintu, I don't have that kind of the jealous talking about, oh, this kind of the person is this way, the other person is that way. I don't have that kind of the jealousy of not talking about, oh, this kind of the person is that way. No, I don't want. I always initiate and make sure that we are progressing. Despite the challenge, I know there are postquams, talk about postquams, talk about the imbroglio I've ever thrown outside here, but you can talk about, hey bro, please, I've just reconciled and I want you to help me in this and then this. Why couldn't I talk? Why can't I talk about, we can talk and make it. And why do you think about Gintu is always not going that? Gintu is always straightforward and we can make it. In Jesus' name. Keep it tuned. Let's get back to the system and check what is really happening to the backside there. And mention that this is what is running on and on and on. Oh, the dogs here are making sure that everything is so fantastic. Always security is tight, but not in terms of the way it was. But everything has to be reconciled the way we want it to be. So part of the program, back to the G Castle. Here, I'm checking much of the goats here. They're just making sure that they're just meh. And they fear much of the dogs here. But that is not the brim point of us to get to the real kind of the point of right now. So, still going to the backyard here, so we can just have to finish much of the things that we have ever started here and make sure that we are moving forward very fantastic here. So keep it tuned, keep it locked. I'm going to be coming back to this kind of the session. Keep it locked, and we are leveling it up as we just move. It's just a backyard here. Much of the people are going to be talking about, oh, the backside right now here, and everything is getting to the brim point. Keep it tuned. I'm going to be coming back to this kind of the brim point. Here we are, the banana plantation occurring here, and everything is just good. When I just went to the custody, everything is just running good. The bananas are there, the maize are there, so everything is very fantastic. Keep it supporting, and we're going to be making it happen. We're going to be having a back to school party and making sure that much of the children are going back to school. Pencils, pen, books, we're going to be buying them, even if we're going to be having a small amount of money, but we can make it, and we can just appreciate. They will appreciate the smaller thing that they're going to be getting, the smaller thing they're going to be handling. It's going to be examined. And guys, I'm going to be ending up this kind of the video from the top here of the G Castle, because I've seen Fundi Duke is back to the system to make sure that everything is just running very meticulous here, so they can just tell us what is the next move and how we're going to be making it as the next move here, and how is he making it to happen here. So that is the real fact that we're going to be making sure that we are manhandling as the way we are here. So I see the machines, they're here. Hey, Fundi Duke, yes, I have a small talk with you, man. Yes, yeah, welcome. Or am I disturbing you, man?
No.
Maybe the work is democratizing now, the tempo of the work is available. You can never know it.
The
momentum.
But no problem.
All the stimuli. Are you good, bro?
I'm very good.
So I see you are looking at the far end there, or you are looking at the dogs. Security is tight. The dogs are representing. They have to be there. So how is everything, bro?
Everything is good.
Everything is working good.
And everything is going
good. Introduce yourself, man.
I'm Fundi Duke here. Fundi Duke.
Yeah, man.
The
G welder.
The G
welder right now.
Yeah.
Representing. So how the movement is. Go, guys, and check Fundi Duke and support Fundi Duke and make sure that we are moving forward. He's approaching 800 subscribers and we are moving. We are not stuck at a same point. The good thing is we ever support each other to make it. And also, he was part of the program, guys. I can just have the respect also. And make sure that thank you for your support that you ever did to make sure that Gintu is coming out of the custody. You understand what was the program there, because much of the things that were discussed with you, my brother, my sister, and those kind of the people who were in charge of the responsibility, the top notch in terms of the security. So you are the people who are working from this side, from the other side, and making sure that you are informing much of the people what is getting on.
We worked the whole day.
Yeah, I understand.
Since morning, it was I didn't know that I was the first person to reach at that police station.
Yeah, I understand.
I didn't know that you were down there.
Yeah.
But me, I went one way to the
Talk about the police post there.
The police post where the DCI are located.
Exactly, custom.
Custom, yeah. I went there direct. It was around 7 a.m. and I was live. I was live streaming.
Oh, you were in a live stream.
All the way from Nyaboansa. I live streamed on the motorbike up to that point. Even I passed inside the custom with my camera on.
Okay.
Yeah, I recorded even the police station. And I went around. I came back and sat somewhere to wait for Masubo and Mohono, your brother.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah.
Also, I appreciate because it was much of the effort that you did.
Yeah.
So as a Kintu can just come out. And much of the people who are just speaking outside, oh, you know, it was this way, it was that way. They are the people who were available to talk about the event, how it was, and the scenario, how it was. And kudos to you, and much of the respect on whatever you did.
Thank you so
and I always recognize the presences. And I'm not that kind of a person who can talk about, oh, how this kind of things is going, and I appreciate the moment, and you took your time, because I gave you the work here. You could talk about, no, me, I was given the work, I have to go for the work because I'm just working for the money. So but you had to democratize and talk about, oh, let me go and check on Kintu. Some of them, they are that way, and you can talk about, oh, now this kind of the person is now into the jail, we don't know when, or is in the custody, we don't know when you're gonna be coming back, so let me rest at home and do other things.
And
then
you know what?
Yeah,
I called the guy. I do pay him by myself. I haven't told you to pay him. I pay him by myself. The guy who was grinding the.
Oh, I remember the guy who was grinding.
The day you were inside, he was here. He was working, and I was there.
Yeah, I understand.
So everything was going on as normal.
As normal.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. Even me, I removed my order when I was in the custody. I talked about nobody should stop the work at the G Castle.
Yeah,
it has to continue.
Was going on.
Everything has to go on, because there was money already set to make sure that everybody is just paid, and the work should continue. But it was just a by the way and a by section, and talking about those are just now the postquams and the osquams of the day. But we have to reframe and get forward. That is the best way that we're going to be doing. But we are back to the G Castle here, and it's ongoing. So right now you have finished the grilling and also the doors.
Yeah.
So right now you are at the upstairs to make sure that the metal rails are practiced more efficiently and security is restored. So are you meaning that now everything is properly good, and you can just continue with the metal rails?
Yeah, everything is good.
Yeah.
Down there is we are only left with the logs.
Oh, the logs. How gonna you how gonna you do with them?
It is very easy doing it while the door is already fixed.
Oh, already fixed. So you can just gauge and get it.
Yeah.
How to hinge and how to make it happen.
Yeah,
so
it is easier when the doors are already fixed, rather than the doors are down there.
Okay.
And when the mason is want to fix them, they spoil easily.
Oh, they spoil
easily. I didn't want to spoil them because they are so expensive.
So expensive, exactly. We purchased them very expensive.
Now I want the way the doors are already fixed there. It is easier to fix them also, and grind, and they be smooth, and they work smoothly.
The good thing about your son, are they welding glasses? I see myself very characteristically good inside there. Even you guys, you can check me. You can check. I'm here and I'm holding the phone. Today I don't have a GoPro, and it has just remained there, but we're going to be making sure that we're going to be democratizing to get it there. So the fact is that now we are done without its only locks, and making sure that now security is preserved. Yeah. So right now, whenever you just leave anything there, what good is there is security is always tight here. Whatever you can just leave onto the GCAS right now, it's going to be preserved, it's going to be very fantastic, and there's nothing can ever get to harm them or bring some shenanigans about it.
And today I'm planning to leave my machines inside here.
There's no problem.
I've been keeping them there, but today I'm leaving them
exactly.
inside.
Security is tight. That is the best thing that we ever want. Security is now getting on and on, and we are moving. Have you noticed it? Because already we are done with doors and we are done with the grills. So it means that today I've already took the talk about the quotation for the plumbing. You understand? So I've all 2 quotations already. I want now to compare the quotations, and when I get whoever is doing it cheaper and doing it better and making sure that the cost effective is there, I want to be giving out the mandate and order on how to do it. But they have given me much of the things. I do compare about the quotation of this and the quotation of that one. I've checked what the material is there. The first person was talking about the material will cost 60,000 Kenya shillings, but the second person is talking about 76,000 Kenya shillings. Why is it? I asked about what is why is it going up? He talked about you're gonna be having 2 systems of water, hot and cold. You understand? And he talked about there's no way of talking about now we're going to be having, you understand, and to the talk about the bathroom. They always put that kind of electricity coming to a heater, which is heating water, and to where now those kind of the stuffs are. He talked about that are old things. So we have to develop. I like much of the people who can bring and raise some of the things like, oh, this is an old, we want to do this way. You understand? And he talked about, no, these ones are just old. Just bring a heater, will be outside. That heater will be serving all the bathrooms. Whenever we have hot water, let it serve hot water. But when we are talking, because I talked about we want everything to be a digital, like I have this kind of the showers, they should be pressed using electricity. You understand? So if they're going to be having some buttons, so it means that those kind of water will be coming warm and cold. So when it senses it's warm you want, you will press the hot button. If you want cold, the cold button. So when it will be just up here, so it will be so hard for us to control it. And it's an old thing. So let's have a whole system up to the kitchen. So if you want to buy, we'll be buying the every bathroom its own heater. You understand? But we can have the one that is always placed outside at the tank. So you can just have electricity driven, not like the solar driven. You understand?
So the system from the showers and
it will be controlled from outside. All the bathrooms and even the kitchen. If you have eaten some good cooked meat, you understand? So it will be coming with some of the ladings. You understand? So for you to wash it, you should use warm water. So much of the people and to the village, they don't have warm water in their kitchens. They have to warm using the gas or warm using maybe charcoal. You understand?
Even the water at the sinks now, you will be if it is cold outside now, you have come from the cold, you can use hot water.
The hot water, exactly. And that is the best. And that is the people who I want, who can just talk about this, how we can do it. You understand? That's
and
why
also,
now the cost is
let me advise you as a fundi.
Yeah.
You know, you go to other bosses, when you try to tell them something, they don't want to listen because they think that they know everything.
Yeah.
So when you know everything, the fundi or the mason will go with your way. And if your knowledge was having some errors, you will realize it. But when you argue with the fundi, you will change ideas and go to the right point.
The right position.
Yeah,
and,
that is.
And the best thing is, I like a person who is talkative, a person who can talk about, hey bro, can we talk about this? Or whenever I'm showing you, we have this and this and this. And I always ask, how I want everything which is digital. Can you tell me the digitality that you have? That's what I always ask. And when you can talk about, oh, it's this way and this way, then I will just talk about, oh, I've ever seen it somewhere, or I've done this, and I've done this. I talk about, yes, even this kind of the house, it's going to be, talk about, you're going to be accessing with the card, so as the lights will be on. So you cannot come and talk about, oh, there's a button there. No, it will be driven with a card. Wow. If you don't have a card, I don't know.
You will not switch the...
No lighting for the security purposes. No card, no lighting. That's the fact. What? So for an entrance, it's going to be one of the digital houses in Nyabohanse, and I promise you. And that is the effect. So he has just talked about everything, and even I've just quoted for everything, the piping, the manholes, everything. The construction of the manholes, how many bricks, everything has quoted. And he has just told me that how it's going to be passing until it reached to the septic tank. That's the best. And I wish you the best here, and to the making sure that the metal rails are just turning around. And I think it's the best way we are just doing it. And keep it on, keep it locked, as we're going to be making it happen. As we are just in the 11th minute here, to make sure that we are just getting forward to this kind of the brim point of finishing point of the video, making sure that everything is coming to you. Go support Fundi Duke the last time here, and make sure that we are moving together. FUNDY DUKE.
There is something we were forgetting.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah, there is one person, let me not say her name or his name, but that person was with us every time we were to call. He was far away, And that person,
but she was in concern.
She was in concern.
I understand. Much
any,
of the people.
Any minute, any time we were to say that,
how is it?
This,
how is the movement? How is everything? When I was in the custody, we are talking about, and I appreciate everyone has been tuned, because it's not only one, but we have much and very much of them whoever supported spiritually, economically, socially, and also denominatically. And also making sure that we're going to be praying for Gintu to have this kind of the movement getting forward. Go support Fundi Duke, and everyone is being supported. Gintu, respect to you. We're going to be going back to the work and making sure that time is limit a little bit here. Thank you very much, guys, and keep it locked. Much of the people are ever watching this kind of the video, getting to the brim point here. But after this kind of the video, I'm going to be having much of the lives here. Guys, there's something that I want to show you, which is the last thing when I'm just getting to end this kind of the video. Let me show you something. Woo, right now, even I can just feel very safe whenever I'm just handling here and just getting to this kind of the position. So guys, I want to show you something. Look to this kind of the upper area. Look at it. So we have tried to do something which is characteristically good. Look at this kind of the brim point. So you can see we have just something that we have just done there. And it's very, very fantastic, because much of the people are asking about how is it. So we are doing something natural, something good. We're going to be having a ring light passing inside, in between there. I talk about, you can see on top there, we have just enclosed it with much of the blocks. And we have some of there, talk about this kind of the things are called what? The bricks. They're just inside. So we're going to be having a very good lighting that's going to be prevailing and making sure that we are moving forward from one position to another. I respect much of the people protruding and making the changes. I respect and talk about you can support Gintu via going to this kind of the WhatsApp hotline number, and you can just conversate with Gintu one-on-one. It's a +2547 00490047, and you can just get Gintu. We can chat, we can rhyme, we can make it happen, and this is leveling it up and keep it tuned, keep it locked. This is the video coming with my phone one-on-one, and I think it's clear and everything gonna be so fantastic. I have a drone. I'm gonna be coming back to the session when we will have the aged or senior party, talking about an after Easter vulnerable party. Gonna be coming to you, and we're gonna be talking about how we're gonna be just contributing so I can just have a good party for them, and a back to school party, and it's gonna be rhyming. Let's make it happen. Kudos to everyone. Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are coming from. Thank you very much for being tuned and locked in. Today, we're going to be starting this kind of the video right now here, and we're going to be making sure that everyone is just getting to this kind of the brim point right now here, as we have much of the things already to alternatively think about here. So today we have the doors are fixed properly. We have the GC. We have another gentleman here bending here like something else. Are you a bow? Have you seen a bow? Yeah. You have the GC, guys, which is a G castle. Already the door is fixed here properly, and we have even the corner window. It's working and it's very fantastic here, as you can just check it from this kind of the brim point. All the sections have been already antagonized and been placed with security. A department already is working very fantastic here. So I just move around to check on what's really happening, and much of the things are still happening unto the G castle here. So today already the stairs, talk about the metal rails are already demobilizing here, and it's very, very firm to make sure that we are now going to be getting to the far point of the top to make sure that security is preserved and to this kind of the environment here. So as far as everything is concerned, everything is going on straightforward as planned, because everything has to go the way it has to go, and to make sure that everything is very fantastic and to this kind of the brim point. So this is the height that we have just selected, and it's going to be so working here, because we're going to be filling much of the spaces here to have this kind of the zone going properly. As we can just check to this kind of the far end here, it's going to be rotating. So we have much of the people working here, and they're going to be doing it with an effective manner. So this is what is now getting to this kind of the brim point, and keep it tuned, as they're going to be making sure that I have some of antagonizification, as much of the things going to be resolved and involved, and to the G castle as the way it is, and to this kind of the position here. So keep it tuned. Let's go get in and check what is really happening here. This is the beginning.